Hello, you beautiful, amazing, stunning people listening on the podcast. It is Keltie. I'm with Savvy Wavy One. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Actually, that's a lie. I feel like I had
Oh,
like a rough week of just
oh,
I don't know. And I feel like a lot of people deal with this where you just randomly get self-doubt and anxiety and like
mm-hmm,
it all
mm-hmm.
comes in and people are like, maybe you're about to start your period. I'm like, no, I just ended it. Like there's no explanation. But
Yeah.
other than
Mercury is in retrograde. No, I
yeah,
was kidding.
literally, I saw one of my friends at the gym and I mentioned it to her and she was like, maybe Mercury. I was like, yeah, sure. But, or the eclipse, post eclipse, people said. But it's
Maybe,
okay.
maybe.
I am, just working through it, but we're human. I'm human.
Mm-hmm,
So that's kind of what
mm-hmm.
I was dealing with. How are you?
I'm good. I hate that you're going through that. It's such like a crappy thing because I want to be like, oh, we've all been there, but sometimes you don't want to hear that. You're like, no, my problems suck the most. But that's like, they don't. But it's just, I hate that you go through it. No, you will get through it. The ebbs and flows of life, and
Absolutely.
don't doubt yourself. Don't yourself. It's just a period of flops or downs or overwhelm or whatever it is. You'll get
Yeah,
through it. You've gotten through it before, and you'll get through it again.
totally. I almost think it stems from I had my family in town, my dad and my stepmom, and I drank a lot with
Mm.
them. And I really don't drink
Mm.
as much anymore. And it was
Yeah,
like I was getting like drunk some nights. Like we were having
yeah.
fun, playing games. And I really think I just struggle with that like anxiety. Everybody talks
Mhm.
about it.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
It's a real thing.
Definitely a real thing because it stemmed literally the day they left. That's where it happened, and I could like feel it coming on. And so I think maybe I'm just
Mhm.
like deloading from it. And I'm good
Yep.
on drinking until I have a friend's bachelorette in May. I'm just gonna sit myself down right here.
Mhm. An unpopular opinion, you can't have it all. Let's normalizing that like this week you picked family and that means work suffers a little, wellness suffers a little bit, sleep suffers. Now your family's gone. You're going to sacrifice a bit of family time because you saw them. Your work will get a bit up and sometimes it's just a weekly thing and sometimes it's a monthly thing, but this idea you could perfectly balance being super successful, great family person. I don't believe that. I don't believe it. You know who it works for? People with help. You got a ton of money? Okay, yeah, you can have it all. But us
Mm-hmm.
regular folks, no, 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 no. So just don't beat yourself up. You just picked family. And it's not that you failed at the other things. You just picked family this week. And that's really the most important. So I'd say you succeeded last week.
Yeah, that makes me feel better. We'll go with that. I
You
don't know.
succeeded. You succeeded.
I think, yeah, definitely. I'm like, I don't know how family turned
Girl
into
math.
self doubt and anxiety, but I will take it. But yeah. Anyways, tell me something about your weekend. How was it?
It was chaotic, the least of the words. So I flew to Edmonton, and then from Edmonton, my mom picked me up. We went to her and my stepdad's like cabin, just like 45 minutes outside. Stayed the night with my stepsister, my brother, his fiance, and in the morning we drove to Jasper, and it might have been to do a 10K, and then like yesterday I flew back. So it's been a lot. It might have been the most poor performance 10-kilometer run of all time by like so if anyone saw any of my family members, first person down, my brother who has severe asthma, respiratory like cold. He can't breathe. My mom tears her meniscus. My sister-in-law also bumps her knee. Then my stepsister gets sick. Also, she was graduating this year. She just didn't train. Straight up didn't train and got sick. Her boyfriend Abe also injured. Mick, my stepdad, 3 days beforehand, decides to get some new shoes, test them out, bums out his ankle. Me, respiratory infection. I mean, like, it could not have been a worse combo of it, but we did it for the memes. It was great memes, but performance wise, I didn't breathe for an hour. I ran like this. Like I couldn't get a breath in. I'm like, this is good. This is good.
Oh my,
So
I can like feel
you
it
can hear
in
it.
your, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you in
Yeah.
pain?
No, like it was just I yeah, it was fine. Like I was already like kind of over it by the end, but it was like the day after I kind of like got over it. was the day I decided to run 10K in the freezing cold. And so I think I just re-got it. So I think my body was like, you're good to go run. And then I was like, what's the worst thing I could do when I feel better? Sit in a car for 3 hours and go run 10K in the rain. Beauty.
I love that your family did it though. Is that like a thing you guys are passionate about?
No.
Like what inspired this?
Every year we've tried to do this thing that we get together and do a 10K run somewhere where it's not like perfectly consistent. It's not like Christmas, but we've done, the last one was in Vancouver, and then someone decided Jasper. And also my mom told us we had enough, like she got a suite that we could all sleep in. And then a couple days beforehand, she's like, oh, no, you have to get your own. There's not room. And there's documented proof from multiple people. So she screwed up. So like I just slept on an air mattress also for most of it. So, you know, optimal recovery things, real passion.
Wow.
But yeah, no, it was just a fun family thing.
What inspired the 10K every year? Like, do you guys all love to run?
My mom's a big runner, and then my brother got into running. So like we like, and obviously
Cute.
I'm into running. So it was just kind of, my stepdad isn't a runner, but he's a soccer player. So it's kind of like, it's running. That is why it's popular. Like anyone can run. Like it's the lowest, like the easiest barrier to entry. So that's why we kind of decided on it. And it was just, we just decided to do it. And I guess that's our thing. But
I love that. I mean, you'll look back at it and at least you're laughing about it now. I'm sure in the moment you were like, there are so many other things I'd rather be doing, like eating soup. To help with the cold.
When I crossed the finish line, like Kennedy came up and they gave me a hug. I almost fainted. I was like, I don't think I took a breath for, and like my half marathon was easier than that. Like at the end, I've never felt that. And I was like lightheaded and like I stopped running. I think I was off pure adrenaline. So definitely do not recommend.
Were
definitely
you
don't
trying
recommend,
to not breathe, like so you didn't cough?
No, I physically couldn't, like, because like just like my lungs, I have no lung capacity. So like I just can't get, like, I apologize to the listener, you probably hear a bit of phlegm, which isn't attractive to you. But yeah, that phlegm kind of makes a blockage when you're running. So
you know what it reminds me of? I don't know why, but like you describing you have to run a 10K when you are sick. It's like something you don't want to do, but you already signed up. You have to do it. Reminds me of when we were kids and you have to go to school with a cold and like say it's a nose cold and you really, really want to blow your nose, but you can't because like it's dead silent in like a test or like, you just don't want to be the snotty girl. You don't want to be known as it. So you hold it, it's dripping down. You're trying to cover it up. Like your run is what reminds me of it. Like just make it through. And I remember thinking to myself, just make it through this 55-minute class without blowing your nose.
You know what was the worst?
What?
Final exams in university. So you're in a room with like 500 people and you have the sniffles and there's always one person. It's dead silent. You just hear, and you can only do it like once. You got to hold on to it, but you don't have tissues. You can't just like blow into your like clothes. You just have to.
Totally. Or if you have a girthy cough and you like are maybe sitting next to your crush, you can't be the girthy cough girl.
No.
There is this guy in middle school. I will never forget this. You have met my best friend, Maddie, that to this day we're still best friends. We met in middle school. It's like the first year we have been friends. We're like sitting together at this assembly. It's about to be summer break. And I had the biggest crush on this guy. And he's sitting next to us. And Maddie knows I have this crush. And we're just like giddy. This man is even breathing my air. He literally like laughs at something. It's like this assembly we're watching. A snot rocket comes out of his mouth, his nose. And Maddie literally for till like end of high school, like obviously we didn't date, like we were just friends. It was just like a crush. But like from then on, she would refer to him as like Snotty Tim or whatever. Like I don't remember the nickname, but she wouldn't tell him. She'd just say it to me like, Snotty Tim's over here. And I'd be like, oh my gosh. But I'll never forget. Like we totally remember it because I remember that snot rocket coming out and being like, oh dear. And you could tell he was mortified. And Maddie and I just ignored it.
That's why like junior high, elementary, high school is so toxic because everything's a core memory. So if you do one thing, it's ingrained. Like probably someone did that to me last week. I don't remember. But if you did that to me when I was 6, you're Snotty Tom for life. Like,
Forever.
that's such an unfortunate thing about childhood.
We should
Just
make
core memories.
Yeah, an episode solely on core memories of like millennial 90s, early 2000
Yes.
kids, of just like who remembers this, or if the, because
Mm-hmm.
everyone can relate if they were in a classroom and they had a cold.
Yeah.
Who doesn't relate to like not wanting to blow your nose and be
100%.
known as a gross girl, right?
We all have them. Oh,
We
I
all
like
have
that.
them.
I like that idea.
Okay, that one will be coming up. Do you have a hot take for us?
I do. Have you heard of this colostrum armra that's everywhere?
I have. They literally sent me the product and I have not tried it.
Okay, so I don't know if I could legally even say this, but sure, I'm going to say it. So they asked me to do like sponsorship, and I've noticed suddenly they're sponsoring everybody. Like they're sponsoring.
I've seen this.
Like Sophia Richie is all over TikTok taking it. Like it's everywhere. It's everywhere. So I'm sorry, I got to debunk you first. So I refused it. I went and bought it with my own money, and I've been taking it, and it tastes like crap. I don't know. I'm going to try more flavors, but I tried the orange. It tastes like Flintstone vitamins in the worst way. And I tried the chocolate one, thinking I could put it with hot water, making it a hot cocoa. Right on the instructions, it was like, no, must be cold water. And it tastes like diluted Nesquik.
Oh,
and
no.
now I have to drink it every day for 30 days. And I'm a chugger. It's just sitting untouched today. And at some point I have to go chug that. It could be worth it. Jury's out. I'll let you all know. But if you're doing it for the taste,
And it's for your immunity, isn't it? That's the
one's for performance and one's for immunity. But that's kind of like the benefit of it is like immunity and all that. But once again, I don't know. I don't know. Jury's still out. It's only been a week, so
I'll give it
a miracle cure.
It's been sitting in my like little products area. I'll have to try it, and we can compare notes. I did want to say. I was at my friend's house the other night, and she had, I think I'm saying it right, Organifi. Have you heard of Organifi? It's like a smaller brand, but it's really clean. They have green juices. They have like this, like supposed to balance your hormones. She takes a lot of that. But they had this night drink. Let me see if I can find it. It was so good. It tasted like, I think it was immunity maybe. I can't find it. It's chocolate, and she made it for me. I was like sleeping over, and I was like, this is delicious. So look it up, Organifi, if you guys want a tasty drink, but couldn't even tell you what it was. She's a girl that takes a bunch of supplements, and she was like, oh yeah, try this. You might like it. And I was like, oh, this is hot chocolate.
Fun. I love those. I take some for Sigmatics. I take hot cocoa before bed.
I've heard great things about them.
That one's fun.
Okay, what's your
hot take? Oh, my second.
Yeah, give me your second.
Actually, no, mine was like I saw yours and mine carries off yours. So
you want me to
go first?
Okay, well, I mean, I kind of hit on it because I wear my heart on my sleeve and I can't hold anything back. I was saying I feel anxious lately and I have a lot of self-doubt. So my hot take was someone said it was like this ritual post-eclipse feeling, possibly. Like I said, I will try and find any excuse to make me feel like there's a reason I'm feeling this way besides just feeling anxious. Is that what you're talking about? You have a spin-off of this? What hot take did you see from mine?
Here, I misread yours. So at first, I didn't realize it said post-eclipse. For some reason, I read post-pandemic. I think I was just skimming because I didn't really want to read yours. And I was kind of like, oh yeah. And I read post-pandemic. And I just have this like 3-year theory of like a lot of people have this anxiety, feel they're behind in that right now. I feel we're all, whatever age would have been 2020 that you turned, you feel like you're turning it this year. Maybe this is just a me, but like I feel like I'm hit every identity crisis that you're supposed to have when you hit 30. I didn't have remotely, like at all. Like I didn't have any of those. I was like, oh yeah, I'm turning it. I was like, this year it coming up, it feels like I'm turning it. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just, you know what I mean? It could be nothing. I'm not saying that, but like I just think of like for 2 or 3 years, we couldn't really we didn't know. We couldn't plan a year ahead. We couldn't really, we didn't know what was happening. And it was kind of like weddings got pushed. This got pushed. Like, why do this now? Like maybe some people got rushed and had this, but I do think of yourself 3 years younger. Do you feel like you're turning that this year?
That's super valid. I could see that.
There's a theory.
Because you'll be turning, then I'm doing the math, 33.
Yeah. And
But
I
you
feel
didn't
like
feel like you had a 30th crisis?
not at all. I was just like, oh yeah, 30. I was like, that's kind of odd. Like, will people still want to watch me on YouTube kind of thing? I thought that for a second, but I was like, yeah, whatever. But yeah, no, I feel like it's not that I'm having a crisis. I just feel like I'm ready to turn 30. Like
Yeah.
I'm like ready to take on those things. And I was like, you did 3 years ago, girl. 3 years ago. But like I feel like ready to like, you know what? I'm gonna start dressing a little bit more sophisticated. I'm gonna start being on
Ah,
top of my finances. Like I
totally.
just feel like I'm ready to consider myself an adult at
You are
33.
the most youthful 33-year-old I have ever met, though. Like,
Well, thank you.
I love you. You make me feel like I'm old in a sense. Like, you are so youthful with what you do, how you act, how you
Oh,
present
thank you.
yourself. I just love it. You and Meg's like, girl, you got time. You give me hope of
Thank you.
being like,
Thank you.
because there are people that have that stigma of in your 30s, you have to,
Mhm.
pop out the kids right away, or, because there's a
Yeah.
biological clock, and it can be really daunting. Or some of my friends, they're already, in that phase of their life. And I'm like, I'm not
Yeah.
ready. And then I think, not everybody has to be in that phase. You can go at your own
Mhm.
pace and you can still stay young forever. You don't have to
Yeah.
be subjected to what society thinks you're at,
I fully agree. My mom is like the most youthful person I know. So
Yeah.
maybe it's just an arcana. It
I
could be
love that.
denial. Could be denial or
No.
youthful joy, whatever you want to call it.
No, I
Either way.
love it. Yeah. My dad was telling me that we were talking when he was here, and he said he's turning 60 this year. And he was like, I have felt the best I've ever felt in my life. Like this year,
Mhm.
I'm finally feeling like, he's like, I'm not, climbing a corporate ladder. I'm not worried about kids. I'm literally
Mm.
like, I can finally kind of relax. And
Yeah.
he was saying, I said, were there any other ages you felt really, like scared about? He said 30 was the hardest age for him. And he was
Mm.
saying he was just like really grumpy about it. I think my mom and him were still together, and my mom threw him a party, and he just said, like, I had a really hard time with it. And I was like, did you have kids? And he's like, yeah, like, because my dad's younger than my mom. And I think my mom
Mhm.
had, I may have came like maybe a year later, but my brother was born. And I thought to myself, how wild that you were 30 and you were a full grown dad. And I'm over here
Yeah.
29 being like, I can barely remember to walk Bentley at a certain time.
Yeah.
It's pretty
It
crazy how
blows
fast they
my
grew
mind.
up compared to
Mhm.
like
It's
how we
crazy.
are. Yeah.
Yeah. There's just more options, and it's just, you know what I mean? There's more
Totally.
options, and just there's so much, and there's more technology. We're living longer. So, I don't know. I just yeah, I thought I'd feel a lot older at 30 than I do, even physically. Like, you know what I mean?
Totally.
Everyone's like, "Oh, your metabolism's gonna," like the amount of comments I get, like, "Just wait till you hit 30, your metabolism." I'm like, 3 years into it. Like,
Totally.
obviously I do things, but like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, like, I'm like, "Oh yeah, there's a few more wrinkles, sometimes a little stiffer," but like, as long as you keep up on it, it's
Yeah.
not as downhill as they make it seem.
It's also like you can make it downhill, or you could take care of
Mhm.
yourself, or it
Mhm.
is like you said, a mindset with your mom. Like she acts youthful, right? Like I even with people that have children now, I'm like, I have met so many amazing moms that are so youthful and fun. And I don't know,
Ah,
when I was young,
yes.
I thought a mom like all of a sudden became like Dexter Laboratory's mother that you like never hear from, and she just,
Mm.
disappears. I'm like, that's not true.
Yep.
That's not true at all. I know tons of
Nope.
fun moms. A lot of my friends are moms. It makes me look forward
Yeah.
to being like, you can still accomplish what you want and have kids if you want. You're
Yes.
not like
Yes.
subjectified.
It's
Yeah.
not so black or white. There's options. You can make it what you want to make it these days.
Absolutely. So let's make it rock. Hannah Montana. Let's make it rock. Those
I
life's
like it.
what you make it. Huh? Did you listen to Hannah Montana?
I don't remember the words. I did, but it's
Oh,
like that. It's been 15 years. It's
yeah.
been 15 years since
Lives
I've
rent
heard.
free in
So
my mind.
I know it's not. I vac my my vacant. I've kicked it out. I need to move in
Okay.
some other things.
I don't blame you. Okay, let's get into our first headline for the day. We'll
Hmm.
stop yipper yappering and talk about what's really important, okay, on
Hmm.
today. And that is Tortured Poets Department.
Hmm.
Have you listened?
I have.
Oh,
And
you
I was
have.
very scared for this question. I was very scared because I was like, she's
Why?
gonna be so mad that I don't know every single detail.
Rip you a
I was
new
thinking about
one.
yesterday. I was like, oh my God, I haven't listened to this. I was like, Okay. I also had an epiphany. I had an
Ooh.
epiphany.
Okay.
So I want to hear this. I want to hear this for you. So, two epiphanies. First of all, I do know we'll talk about the main takeaways, the viral things. So I know those. But in this, I was listening to it, and I've listened to it a few times. I was like, I don't listen to Taylor Swift like Swifties. And I think there's two kinds of people that listen to Taylor Swift. Now, there's a Swiftie, dissects it. You listen to it in order. You're listening to the words. You're listening to this, piecing into Easter egg. It is your treasure hunt, and you are finding it. You know it all, and it's like a crime mystery to you. And I love that. That's not why me and some other people listen to Taylor Swift. So my version, I listened to the first through, and it's like, let's find the bops. Let's find the beats I like. I was like, hey, add it to my playlist. Then I'll re-listen 2 or 3 times. And what I love about Taylor Swift, why I fell in love with her, is she's just a few years older than me. So I always feel when an album comes out, it's the exact year I'm living. So it's like she's like singing the soundtrack to a 33-year-old Keltie, to a 21, like 21 came out when I'm 20. So I always felt like I was like, so I listened through to the songs that like hit me. And I'm like, this is what I'm going through. This is a representation of, I want to feel this. So I was like, not saying Swifties obviously do that too, but I was like, are you the type that listens to the beats and the words selfishly? Or are you the type that listens to it like a crime and try and dissect it from Taylor's point of view versus your point of view?
Ooh.
And I think that's the two differences.
Okay.
Thoughts?
No, I love that. I think you nailed it on the head. Because I think why people love her so much is she's super relatable. It doesn't make sense how she is, because she's this cute little billionaire girl, you know, and yet she's like seems so down to earth. So no, I definitely agree with that. I feel like I can be a little bit of both, where like maybe when I was younger, I'd be like, oh, All Too Well through a breakup, White Horse through a breakup. I'd be like, oh, this is me. And then this, I'm like listening to some of the lyrics and I'm like, oh, that makes me so sad for her. So then maybe now as I'm older, I can't relate to it as much because I'm not in like that turmoil breakup, but I almost like, I'm like, man, like people that go through a breakup right now, like you are blessed with this. Like, whew, this is such a good album. But
yeah.
Did you notice, I think this album was for people that like lyrics and like poetry, as she says.
Yes.
Opposed to beats. Because I feel like she wasn't trying to make bangers like she has in the past. She's just trying to like show them what they're like, give us more constantly. And she's like, fine, I'll give you more. I'll be so literal in my lyrics. Like usually she uses a lot of metaphors and people are like, I don't understand it. A cardigan? Did somebody take a cardigan? And you're like, no, it's a metaphor. This time she's like, this is actually what happened, point blank. Like, I'll just tell you all and then you can figure it out, but it's not rocket science to know who I'm talking about, right? So,
you know, I found,
oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, obviously the name of the album, but it felt like poetry. It felt like poetry with some beats. Like that's exactly, even like there wasn't really many verses I found. Like, you know, the chorus doesn't, there's verses, but the chorus doesn't repeat. Like it felt very poetry. Yeah, exactly.
Definitely. So, okay, what's your top 2, 3 songs?
You list. I have to pull them up. So you say yours, and I have them here, but I don't have them memorized. But I came prepared.
Okay, I love it. I love it. So first and foremost, at first I was like, I like the I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, because I think it's like a good bop, but it's also really sad to know she felt that way. But I think it's kind of cool. She let us in on that. So I love like what she's saying in it. I love the Black Dog. The lyric "Old habits die screaming" is so good and so true. If you can't break a habit, it's as if it's screaming. I was trying to explain that. I was giving Michael Swiftie school yesterday and I was trying to explain it to him and he just did not get it like I did. I love the prophecy because it makes me, once again, I like hearing someone's story. So to hear her say she has all this money, but she wants someone to keep her company, breaks my heart, my little heart. I look in people's windows. I think it's just really pretty. And it plays off of, I don't remember. It's another song. She like did a twin song to it. So I look for window. I can't think of it. Death by a Thousand Cuts, maybe. And Who's Afraid of Little Old Me? Sorry. One more. I'm gonna get you back. That's on repeat. I love the beat to that song.
Okay,
your turn.
I like it. Well, mine, I agree fully. The bop of it is I Can Do It With Broken Heart. That's on repeat. It is like the beat she has. I was trying to define it. I was like, it's like hyper pop house meets a little K-pop vibes, like a little anime almost, like something about it. I'm like, just as a producer, I'm like, okay, this I feel. And once again, you think about it, but I found it like super empowering.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like listening to it, I was like, yeah, you can. Broken Heart. And there's so much like I love listening to it because it was like knowing she's on stage at the Eras tour. Singing,
Yes.
like that's the mindset.
When
like I feel like you're on stage singing it.
Like,
yeah, she was.
That was her.
That was
Travis.
Yeah, exactly. So that'd be my favorite. And then the one that I just Florida, because Florence and the Machine, I just love. So what? Honestly, the second the album came, I gasped seeing like they were on. I was like, oh my, like that. But now I kind of hate it because TikTok has taken it and ran with it. And so now it's just like, damn it, TikTok, why'd you have to ruin a good thing? And then my other one would Fortnite is fun. It's so fun. I didn't like it as it's fun, but it's like I thought it'd be like a repeat. I'm like, oh, it's kind of nice, but Post Malone didn't shine as much as he could. Like,
I said the same thing.
Okay, good. I was worried that like I love Post Malone so much.
I love him.
It wasn't that it was bad. It was just I'm like, you're boppier. I expected boppier from him.
I sometimes think when she collaborates, though, it's like they're very much background. Did you watch the music video?
I did, or just on because you know Spotify plays it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Or maybe I've seen it.
Okay.
I actually don't know how I've seen it. I've seen it. Maybe I just seen clips of it. I was like, I've seen it.
I was so drunk with my family. Like we came back from a bar and I was like, we're watching it. And they're like, okay. And we like literally watch it to like the premiere. Couldn't figure it out because I'm so drunk. And we managed to pull it up. And the whole time I'm like, and my family, everyone was like, so great. But my dad and stepmom were so positive. They're like, they are just so fantastic. I'm like, shh, don't talk. I'm trying to watch. Sorry, continue.
And then last one, I just have to say, So High School. I just love like the concept. Like it's just so cute. I'm like, I don't think I'll re-listen to it a ton, but just like that was one that I was like, oh my God. It feels like OG Taylor Swift. We were in high school listening to her, just like having crushes on the guys on the football team. It's very much like, it feels like we're back in like millennials going back to high school in that moment.
The lyric, but you know how to ball. I know Aristotle. Did you in the So High School? Like Travis knows how to ball, but she knows Aristotle because she's a smart girly. That I love the lyric. I'm like, that's so darn cute.
She's so good. But that's all for now. I'm still working through it. I'm not like at a rush. I just naturally, I'm like, I'm in the mood. And I'll listen to it and keep popping them over. So if more pop over to my regular playlist. And I just also have to point out, I do apologize to the Swifties that I'm drinking a Kim-Aid. Wow, that feels very sinful. And if someone's watching this, I know they would say, how dare you talk about this as you drink it? It's so cute. It's nothing to do with Kim. It is the cutest looking energy drink. So
I love it. Millie,
I'm sorry.
We were FaceTiming and she was like, we were chatting for a couple hours and she's like, Sav, I need to know what is going on with Taylor Swift and Kim Kardashian. I was like, oh boy, you came to the right place, Millie. Sit on down. And I explained the whole situation of thank you, Amy. And I'm just cackling the whole time. And she goes, I don't mean this in a mean way. She's like, I got to be careful with what I say with you. But she's like, she sounds quite petty still. And I said, oh, absolutely. That's the point. We're all petty at the end of the day. And that's kind of the fun of it is like, she's just being petty right back to her.
That's why Taylor Swift, because technically if we break it down, Taylor Swift is literally the most unrelatable human on the face of the planet. Like she grew up rich, became successful at a young age, is literally the richest like female artist of all time, probably soon richest artist of all time. Like unrelatable her day to day, but yet she's still petty like us all.
Still petty.
Still gets brokenhearted by boys. Still wants to date the football star. Still, you know what I mean? It's just
still gets ghosted. Like you're telling me she got ghosted by this man
Mm-hmm.
who I love the TikTok memes of him just being weird on stage. And they're like, this is your muse, Taylor.
Oh, I do have one thought I have to say about this album.
Huh.
So it's obviously mostly about Matt Healy, which is a shocker we didn't see coming. And I was like, isn't that so true though? Because we all thought it'd be is Joel, that was her ex?
Joe.
I apologize. Joe.
Yeah.
Sorry, Swifties. But you know, I know everyone thought it would be about Joe, but it's about this random other guy in between. But I was like, isn't that so true though? When you break up like a long-term relationship like that, you're done. By the end, you're like, you know what? It was peaceful. We had this chapter together. I can move on. There's not much to say. But you have those people that are in your life so temporarily, but they live so rent-free. Like those guys that you just date for a month and then, you know, you fall apart, you date other people, then you come together. And it's like, they only really account for 4 months of your entire life, but they own so much of your emotions and rent-free. And that's what this felt to me. Like that guy that you just dated for a month. And it's like, why am I so obsessed with him?
Yeah.
Versus someone I loved for 6 years.
Totally.
That's how I felt about this.
Yeah. Context for people that don't know. She was with Joe Alwyn for about 6 years. They broke up. And then she, for like a hot second, like a month or something, I don't know the timeline, dated the lead singer in 1975, the band, Matt Healy. And it shows they dated in the past. Then she met Joe and then they got back together, rekindled. Because somebody said they wanted more context on our podcast. And I was like, okay, we got you.
Well done.
But I kind of view it as a respect as well of like, it would be pretty telling for her if she was to be with somebody for 6 years of her life and then just to like write this slander poetry. And I'm sure she had a lot that she probably wanted to be like, fuck you, Joe. But she was like, oh, keep it tame, because it is 6 years. At that end of the day, that person is family to an extent, you know? So it's just like, you know, I could see where Matt Healy, who just burns her and leaves, but the smallest man that ever lived is so mean and like gut wrenching, but girls can relate to it because we've all been ghosted like that.
Yep.
Or, but daddy, I love him. Did you get that she's talking?
I did hear about,
like she's people that don't know, she's talking about the Swifties being like, don't date Matt Healy, he's crazy. And she's like, but I love him and I don't care what you say. Love it.
Relatable.
Okay.
We've all been there.
Okay, well, thank you for entertaining me with the Tortured Poets Department. It's been very hard not to talk about that on here. And we'll revisit it as time goes on. I feel like it's you know, you got to keep listening to it to find new favorites. Yep. That's how I feel.
Every album's like that, I feel.
Totally, yeah.
There's sleeper songs.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Post Malone, I heard, is coming out with a country album.
It's been in the works for a few months.
Okay, yeah, super excited. Speak of country, our next headline, Stagecoach. Did you see Beyonce was there? Post Malone was there? I just need to know, would you go to Stagecoach? Like, do you think that's your kind of thing? Or are you more Coachella?
I love it all. I like, my only sad part about that, I just haven't gone. And it's been like every year I decide to go to Coachella, and I'm not going to do Coachella and then Stagecoach. Just financially, that would ruin me. But I want to go so bad. Like sometimes I'm like, my dream is to perform at Coachella. And I'm like, wait, is my dream actually to perform at Stagecoach? Like I love what's forming, because my two favorite things are like country music and EDM. And they're like they seem like polar opposites on the spectrum, but deep down they're the same. Like it's the same vibe. And so like they're slowly coming together, and I'm here for it. And it's just, it's where the it girls are right now. It's a bit more chill. It's a bit more laid back. You can just wear cute outfits, but it's not over the top. It's not as sweaty, as intense. And Stagecoach is having a moment. Country music's having a moment. And I am obsessed.
Should we try to go next year?
Sign me up. Just like, okay, where? Take my money.
Because I'm like, I kind of want to go. What if we went together?
I'd love to. Let's do it.
Okay, let's look up
Hitting
the dates.
The bars.
We're going to go, because then, you know, early in the morning we could podcast and then we could just go be delinquents. I love country. I love the poppy. I mean, are they combined? Is that what you're saying? Why did I think it was only country?
So it is a country, like that was kind of where it started from. But over the last couple of years, like I said, a lot of like EDM artists started having like Post Malone, like Diplo was kind of one of the first. He's not the first, but was one of like, I say like the most mainstream DJs to like start like Old Country Road or
Oh yeah, with
Little
Billy.
Nas. Yeah, remember?
Billy
Yeah,
Ray.
so like that was kind of like all that started happening. And so now if you look at it, like I think Dylan Francis is there and there's quite a few, and it's this kind of like subsect of
See, this could be very
fun.
compatible for you and I.
Very, very. It's just like my dream. All I can say is people think it's unexpected. Wake Me Up by Avicii, EDM and country, best banger of all time. Give it a listen. It works. It's so synergetic.
Okay.
I love it. I love it.
Okay.
Love it.
I love it. So let's look for it next year. I'm dead serious.
Yes.
We should go together. That'd be so
Sign
fun.
me up.
Is
Sign
it?
me
It's
up.
in Palm Springs, right?
No, it's at Coachella. So it is like, because Coachella is, if you didn't know, is a place in Palm Springs.
Yeah,
Like it's an actual
closer.
little
Okay.
small town, a little small section. And so Stagecoach is, it is Coachella, just branded with cowboy boots.
Okay. Love it.
Yeah.
All right. See us next year, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Next headline. Have you heard about this TikTok ban chatter everywhere in the United States?
Yeah.
And I just need to know, as a Canadian, what are your thoughts on it?
See, this is one of those funny Canadians forgetting we are not in America, because I keep thinking this. Okay, what happens if it gets banned? I'm like, that's not my government. It doesn't matter. Like, it would, of course, change it, because if America goes, a lot of it goes. And I'm so torn. First, I hate it for all the small businesses that run on TikTok. That sucks. But sometimes I'm like, for our mental health, I think it would be good for us all in some ways. But then I love TikTok. But then also I'm like, I don't think TikTok has necessarily made our world better in the last couple of years. Like, I don't think it's been, but at the same time, it's really fun. So I'm kind of like, I don't know what to think of it. I think it would be nice. I think we might all take a deep breath and actually touch grass.
Yeah.
If next year it gets banned. And then as a Canadian, I don't know, because I think, could that kill the app, or does that mean us Canadian content creators just take off?
I've wondered that too. Because
So
it is like
this.
People always move to LA once they become a TikToker.
Moving to Vancouver.
Yeah. Like, so those that don't know, the potential ban of TikTok is like, it's been going through court with, and they're not necessarily wanting to ban it. They just want China to sell, right, their portion and have like an American company purchase it.
Yeah, so pretty much it all signed. Joe Biden signed it, so it's all official. So the government has 9 months. I think it was originally 6, that was 9. It might be 12 now, but I believe it's 9 to sell it to an American company, or just sell it outside of China. But yeah, have to sell it to an American company, or it gets kicked off the App Store. But there's a lot of time, but then there's so many conspiracy theories. Like, you start like going like your head down it, like there's no way China's gonna sell their most profitable app of all time to an American company. But at the same time, what choice do they have? Like, it's and is TikTok good? Is it a spy thing? I don't know what to believe at this point. But moral of the story is, it has 9 months, and then it could be on the chopping board. And here's a conspiracy theory I would like to happen. Gets banned in 9 months, boom, Vine's back.
Vine.
Imagine, because Elon bought Twitter. And what does Twitter own? Vine. And he posted a tweet that just said like Vine ?
I love Vine.
I'm kind of for TikTok over, Vine back to 7 seconds, funny videos, no over edits, no crazy algorithm, just 7 seconds of funny humanness. I want Vine back. I want the nostalgia.
Isn't it wild that people just blew up on Vine off of 4-second videos? Like, I'll never forget that. My batteries, man. I loved him so much. Eliza, I just saw her. We were talking. She was in that movie on Netflix. She was a Viner. Crazy.
Cody, Logan Paul, like
totally.
So many of the biggest creators were just Viners.
I do think, I personally don't think like it would ever go as far as getting banned. Like, I think there'd probably be some form of, compromise beforehand, which is why they're like giving a date. But it would really be, like you said, a bummer, because so many people have successful businesses. And what I do like, I agree. TikTok can be very bad for our mental health. But if it's not TikTok, then they're just going to go on to Reels. They're just going to go on to YouTube Shorts. We're
Exactly.
going to still continue to consume that type of like short form content. But I do think what TikTok has done really well is anybody, quite literally anyone, can get a successful following and business off of TikTok. And I feel like that had never been done before because Instagram was like perfect, pretty, everything must look amazing. YouTube, long form content, right? Like video quality. TikTok's like anybody and everyone like can get a successful business off of it. And that was the one thing I was like, that is so cool when I see somebody that you just knew they may have not had that certain aesthetic to grow on certain platforms, but like because their personality shines through and they have the allotted time on TikTok and it's not as serious when you post, they could just post whatever they wanted. I think that's cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
And do you see Emma Chamberlain finally made a TikTok?
I haven't seen it. I have very specific times of the week allow myself to be on TikTok.
Okay.
I haven't been on this weekend, so
she just made one. Conveniently, right
She's
after
back.
they said that they are banning it. Interesting, right?
She's kind of like me in that sense. Like TikTok got overwhelming, like just the amount of consumption. So I wonder if she's like, you know what? I just have 9 months of this and then it's over. So I might as well enjoy the 9 months before it's done. Like there was kind of like an end point to it. Like it's not like, oh, this can keep growing and growing and all this. It's like, no, just 9 months of fun and then it's gone.
Yeah.
Maybe she's thinking that way.
Absolutely. Why not? Strategic. Okay, next headline I thought would be just something fun. It's the best athletic brands according to Women's Health. And I wanted to know, do we know them? Do we like them? What products do we like from them? Okay. And I like some of these, I'm like, I've never heard of them. And it enticed me to look them up. First things first, your pride and joy, Lululemon.
On my forehead right now.
Literally.
I mean, I was literally, I'm in, Lulu Zip Up, rest is Skims. But I just love it. It's the best quality, I feel, considering you can get everything. It's a great basics. If they have warranty, it's tried and true. Wait till it comes out in your favorite color. I was like, if you need the high quality $100 leggings, they're not the hype company. They're your tried and true basics. And as a Vancouver girl, I'm biased. I walk by it. I also realized I'm like, so many of my friends are employed by Lulu. I'm like, I'm just a proud, patriotic Canadian for my Lululemon.
Totally. I also think what I like about Lulu is it's very friendly for any age. Sometimes I think people are not very age, inclusive, and that bothers me. And I feel like at any point of whatever you're going through, you can always wear them. It's flattering. Okay, we stand. We obviously know we stand, and it's no shock that they are number one on this. Next one is called Ewedoos. It's EWEDOOS. And so everybody says it's the best Amazon legging that they have like tested. So they have exercise dresses, tennis skirts, flared leggings. So I want to actually check that out because they have Prime shipping. So I know Kat and Ken have been in their like Amazon clothing era. So I wonder if they have anything to say about it. But if you're looking for an Amazon brand, maybe check that out. Next up, Girlfriend Collective. Have you heard of this?
They always have like random pieces kind of go viral. Like they're kind of like that. They're very like simple, kind of like a smaller scale Lulu look wise. And like you said, every once in a while they'll have like a tennis skirt that a lot of people like. Like I think it's like kind of a nice option if you're like, I have a Lulu, I want something similar. It's not quite that. I believe it's not quite as expensive, but it's kind of just, it's for the girls. So I don't personally own it, but every once in a while I'll see items. I'm like, oh, that's cute. And I do know it has very like cult following. Like people really like it.
I've heard that as well. I feel like with athletic brands, I can be so picky on the fit of like leggings. Like that will make or break it if I like a clothing brand. Because sometimes like some leggings will be like really low or I don't know. This is not to Girlfriend Collective. I've never tried theirs. That's like my one thing. Like if the leggings do not fit, I do not bother with the rest. I don't know why. It's just like a rule of thumb for me. Next up, Aloe Yoga.
I got some hot takes. Now I'm an aloe girly. I love my aloe. not great for workouts. Their regular airlift line, their airlift leggings, airlift sports bra, get it in your favorite color. I have it in navy blue and black. Unbelievable. Great for workouts. They're so good. Like their running gear, all that kind of stuff. I wear it like it's my athleisure. I want a cute little tennis dress. I want like it's my hot girl walk stuff. It's my airplane outfits. Like I love it for daily, but when I'm actually like I got to go run 20K, I'm not pulling out my aloe. It's very yoga, very like tennis
Cute.
girl, but you're not actually playing tennis, but you want to look like you're on the way to tennis. It's all that.
Yes.
But it's not high performance.
I 1000% agree. I went into like an actual store last year and I had seen all these really cute things online and I was like, can't wait to try them on. Literally every single thing except one bra didn't feel supportive. So I was like, oh, noted. It's definitely if you, I mean, with my fake boobs, I feel like I'm so picky because like I don't want them flying around because I don't want to like, you know, gravity boobs. I'm just super picky with like how I keep them up. And there was only one bra that I liked. And then I found a dupe of their tank tops on Amazon that I'm obsessed with. So I agree. I just noticed that like, I think it'd be better for if you don't need as much support. They're a great workout brand because they're super cute, but they are really expensive. They're more expensive than Lululemon.
It is twice as much. So it's like, if you want something that's actually like worth it. And I will say, I don't, and I can't say this from others because I just have my body type. I don't think they're really size inclusive. Like, I don't think like they have a very small range. I don't really see them having a lot of stuff for the bigger bust girls curves. Like, I think there's a body type of aloe yoga, and I will count my own privilege. I fall into it. But you know what I mean? If you're a girl who's like, I want to feel really supportive, I want to run a lot, it's definitely not worth the money for you. Just skip it.
Totally. Okay, next up, Vuori. Have you ever heard of them?
It's like the new hype thing. Like it is definitely coming. I've almost been influenced to buy it multiple times. Like there's some cute pieces.
Yeah.
But I don't love, this is going to sound so bad. The logo, I think they need to update. The logo looks a little like random started brand 3 months ago. Let's just paste something onto it.
Yes. I just clicked on their website and it looks old school for sure. Like the typography of Vuori.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, definitely not as sleek. Okay, next up, Beyond Yoga.
I've seen it just randomly. Like you'll be in like a Nordstrom and I'll see it. I'm like, well, that's cute, but I have no judgment of it.
Yeah, a lot of these brands, by the way, you can find them at TJ Maxx or Marshalls. My friend found Aloe Yoga, a matching set at Marshalls. So keep a lookout. Just got to fish for it. Next up, Athletica or Athleta, I think.
Yeah, I have to say they might have just made the dumbest decision. They opened a new one in Vancouver across the street from the biggest Lululemon in Vancouver. I hate to say it, no, I've never seen anyone in it.
Oh,
it's been open for 6 months.
No.
I was like, I hate to say it, if someone's coming to Vancouver, they're going into Lululemon. Like I was just like, oh, I don't know anything about the brand, but I'm like, they need to do product strategy.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's wild. I know. I've seen them. I see that they're like a mall brand. But like, I look at the prices when I go in and I'm like, it's like I don't trust them enough to pay the price. Lululemon, I know I'm getting like what I'm paying for. Athleta, I'm like, I don't know how this will wash. Like, I just feel like there's not enough trust built for at least me yet. So I'm curious if anybody does like them, let us know what you do like.
Yeah.
Because obviously they're successful. I see them all over. I just get nervous. Like, I don't want to drop that much if I don't know how it's going to hold up.
I know. Sad reality.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Free People Movement. This is a popular one.
I've almost bought it's funny, we're looking at the photo, but it's like a tennis dress. I've almost bought their tennis dress and skirts a few times because I've seen them on girls. I'm like, cute. But I haven't. Has it do anything with Free People, like the regular clothing company? Is it their athletic wear line?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so. I love them. I love regular Free People.
Oh, I think Free People is so cute. But the only thing is Free People is a bit known for being like thinner material, more flowy, hippy dippy, right? So a lot of it doesn't last as long is what I've heard. I've only bought like
I can see
bralettes.
that.
I think of that famous dress everybody wore in the early 2000s, you
Mhm.
know? But like I was walking with my friend the other day and she had this really cute tank top on and we were like, oh, I love your tank top. She said, thanks, free people movement. She said, the one thing I'd say though is like after a couple washes, it's not holding up that well. And it's expensive
I could see
because
that.
free people is super expensive. So I just thought, interesting, good to know.
Unpopular opinion, I've never seen like a regular company do an athletic wear line that usually pans out good. For whatever reason, like I always feel it's kind of cheap. Like I
Yeah.
can't think on the spread in my mind of like Hollister does their athletic wear line. I was like, their stuff might be good, but suddenly like, it just never hits. There can be a few cool pieces, but it's never quite great quality.
And it's almost like they have the name backing them. So that's not their main concern when they're shopping. And I think that's maybe where they go a little wrong. Because then if
True.
I've heard it, you've heard it, like if we all kind of hear about this, it's cute, but if we know it's not going to hold up. I'm all about like, I live somewhere 85 degrees. I'm constantly sweating. You should see, I go through 3 outfits a day. Like if I'm exercising, I'm just sweating, walking Bentley. So like I need something that's like durable for this heat. And you just wouldn't catch me in something that frays or whatever it may be.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
Okay, next up is rapid fire. 437.
Woo, woo, woo. It's a Toronto company started by 2 girls. Love it. If you're wearing 437, you're that girl. That's my conception. Girls who walk into yoga wearing that, I'm like, you're that girl. You're that girl.
Didn't it used to be bikinis?
Yep, that's where we originally started with. And honestly, it's kind of like on par with the Aritzia kind of stuff, but it looks, I've never seen someone look bad wearing it. I will say that much.
It's so darn cute. I like the model I'm looking at. I'm like, wow, that's cute. Okay, Gold Hinge. Cute. I've never heard of this. Have you?
Never heard of it.
Okay.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. So if anybody has, let us know. For Me. That's a fun name.
Also haven't heard of it.
No.
I thought it was Form, but no, haven't heard of it.
Yeah. Oh, it may be Form. I just broke it down. And then Spanx.
Honestly, if you're someone who likes that like compression look, I bought a pair of them for a video and they look good. I don't like a compression feel. I don't need the support. But if you're someone who wants to be supported, you want like almost like contouring. If you're a girl who likes contouring, you'll love their leggings.
Yeah. Nike. Next one.
It's fallen off. Unpopular opinion. I love Nike. It's fallen off. I'm going to do a video on the rise and fall of Nike. I think it's in its flop era. I love
agree.
Nike, but it's in its flop era.
The very first like outfit I bought to like post anything online was these Nike shorts that were so darn cute, and like crisscross was back when they were so popular. I've never seen them again, and I got rid of them like 3 years ago, and I really wish I kept them because they were so darn cute. But every time I look at Nike, nothing does it for me except that those shorts. I used to love them. Next, Golden.
So that's Aritzia's new athletic wear line. So you've probably seen Aritzia's, and they just rebranded like 2 weeks ago to Golden. And I personally love it. If you want an affordable version of Lulu, it's not quite as great quality, but the stuff's cute. I love it for like hot girl walk stuff. I'm walking around downtown. I need a specific color pair of leggings to match my blazer. That's when I go to Golden.
Awesome.
And honestly, so cute.
Yeah.
And I love their skirts.
Okay. Next up, Outdoor Voices.
Oh, I think you told me about the Outdoor Voices dress,
I like
right?
them.
That's the only reference I have about it.
The only thing I will say is, so these Outdoor Voices dresses were so cute, but they stretched out. So now I can't wear them. They like, it's just like I need a bra with them. I will not be bothered to put on a bra. So that's one thing, is size down maybe, but I actually think the quality is fantastic. I just think naturally I was just wearing it every single day in New York, sweaty, humid. But great if you just want like a tennis dress. Outdoor Voices. I've never tried anything else from them, but I really like those. And last but not least, Year of Ours. Have you ever heard of this?
I just went to it and I looked real fast. I've never heard. I was looking at their product material. It's like 85% nylon, 15% spandex. So it's not polyester, so it's not awful. But it's not going to be like, I'm not wowed by it.
Yeah.
It looks kind of cute. It's reasonably priced, 65 for a bralette. That's kind of expensive.
Yeah.
And 84% polyester, $65. I don't think that's worth it. But that was really fast. They could have other things.
Yeah. Okay, there you have it, folks. If you're looking for a new, brand, sometimes I feel like we can get in our ways. And if you want to switch it up, check out these. But with that being said, we're going to let you guys go. Don't forget to check us out on our Instagram. We have a YouTube channel too if you want to watch us chat. And don't forget to leave a review, and hopefully it's nice and not trolly. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Stunning.